Good morning, YouTube fam. Good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys have been doing good. I'm well, thank you. And it is in the morning right now. I'm having some of my tea in this cute Nespresso cup. And we're gonna do a little Bible study, right? Also, exciting news, I'm writing my last exams for the year, and I'm very proud of myself that I came this far because I took a leap of faith, pay my school fees, my own school fees, with little help from loved ones around me and support. And yeah, so I'm very excited, very happy. Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. Today we're going to be reading from Genesis 20, the whole chapter, right? And there were some few points catching about the story because it's very intriguing how Abimelech in the story didn't do anything, but he still ended up having to ask someone who did him wrong, praying for him so that his nation or his family can be healed so that they can start receiving children again. But we're gonna get into it. And okay, so let's read. I've got my Bible here, I've got my notebooks, I'm ready. Okay, so Genesis 20. Now Abraham moved on from there into the region of Negev. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And lived between Kadesh and Shur. For a while he stayed in Gerar and Luz. And there Abraham said to his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." Then Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent for Sarah and took her. But God came to Abimelech in a dream one night and said to him, You are as good as dead because of the woman you have taken. She is a married woman. Now Abimelech had not gone near her, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Did he not say to me, She is my sister? And didn't she also say, He is my brother? Question mark. I have done this with a clear conscience and clean hands." Then God said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know you did this with a clear conscience, and so I have kept you from sinning against me. This is why I did not let you touch her. Now return the man's wife, and he is a prophet and will pray for you, and you will live." Okay. But if you do not return her, you may be sure that you and all who belong to you will die. Early next morning, Abimelech summoned all his officials, and when he told them all that had happened, they were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham in and said, "What have you done to us? How have I wronged you that you have brought such great guilt upon me and my kingdom? You have done things to me You have done things to me that should never be done." And Abimelech asked Abraham, what was your reason for doing this?" Abraham replied, "I said to myself, there is surely no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she is really my sister, the daughter of my father, though not of my mother." So basically step siblings. "And she became my wife. And when God had me wander from my father's household, I said to her, this is how you can show your love to me. Everywhere we go, say of me, he is my brother." Then Abimelech brought sheep and cattle and male and female slaves and gave them to Abraham. And he returned Sarah, his wife, to him. And Abimelech said, "My land is before you, you live wherever you like." To Sarah he said, "I am giving your brother 1,000 shekels of silver, shekels 25 pounds or 12 kilos, 12 kilograms of shekels. This is to cover the offense against you before all who are with you. You are completely vindicated. Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female slave so that they could have kids again. For the Lord had kept all the women in Abimelech's household from conceiving because of Abraham's wife Sarah. Okay, so that I noted down study. Okay, so to get into it, long story short, you saw that they were siblings technically, but siblings from their dad's side, and um and because she was so beautiful, Abraham thought that the land was basically like a sinful, they didn't have the fear of God, they didn't love God. And that's why because he thought something bad would happen to him, he lied and said to the king that, you know what, the girl is my sis, right? And I'm sure that's just because he was fearful, and hence why. And on the other hand, Abimelech did everything with a clear conscience, and the good part of it was that God kept him from sinning, you know. And I noted down that when you do things with a clear conscience, God keeps you from the sin that comes from those things. So meaning that when sometimes, say for instance, you unconsciously said something hurtful to someone, right? You didn't intentionally mean it, so God will keep you from sinning and help you not maybe do that the next time, or just, you know keep you from the little things. And I think that when you are a righteous person in front of God, this is like the benefits of just being within his family or kingdom, or being a part of the body of Christ, like a true Christian righteous person, is that God keeps you from sinning within the little things. And even if it's unconscious, well, it has to be like with a clear conscience, you didn't know. But even if you did know, I'm sure there comes, not I'm sure, but I know that there is so much grace that comes with things being done consciously, so like you knew what you were going to be doing. But if you are someone who has like you end up having like a fearful heart, surely God has grace on people. And then Abimelech was not the cause of the situation, but still gave back more than he was supposed to, meaning that meaning that not only did he give Abraham's wife back, but he gave him sheep, cattle, male and female slaves, you know, and paid for the offenses against the wife. And not one time in the story did I see oh, sorry, I just heard. It sounds like an excuse also from Abraham, because you could have told the truth in a way, but I guess our personalities are different, especially maybe back then. It was like all strict rules, but Abimelech literally gave back 10 times, you know. And how many of us can say that, like, even if someone has wronged us, how many times have we given back to them, like 10 times more than what we have gotten from them? Not even the honesty, no nothing, but how many of us can say that we have forgiven this person and still gave more, you know? And even what intrigued me about the story was that Abimelech was so understanding when Abraham told him, okay, this is what had happened. Besides, the lady is my sister, but this is my story, and he was very attentive to what he was saying, and then paid tenfold for Abraham's wife Sarah. Yeah, so basically going into the second point would be that he was very attentive. He listened to the person who did him wrong, and gave back more than what he has taken with a clear conscience, and how many of us can say that when someone done us wrong, we can forgive, we can listen attentively? I know that sometimes I don't do the best at it, and I would like to learn to, and just stay in my lane, my ground, when someone has done me wrong. Or yeah, basically, And then another point I noted here was that even though Abraham was not honest, yeah, that's what I said. Abimelech listened and Abraham's explanation and was patient with him, and that is what I admired. Um, yeah, not many of us can say that. But yeah, in the story, I don't know. I just admire. Oh, and I admired how Abimelech paid attention to God immediately, when God said, "You do not do this, you do not do that," even though God knew that. And the thing is, God paid attention to the fact that he did it with a clear conscience, hence why God came to him in a dream to save him from those sinful acts that he was about to do, based off of a lie. And he listened to God. How many of us can also say immediately when God tells us not to do something, we're going to do it anyway? How many of us can say that actually when God speaks, we listen? But sometimes it takes longer, because maybe we're so used to doing things on our own. And yeah, we're so used to doing things on our own, having our own answers. But when it comes to just being quiet and doing exactly what God has said, in order for maybe us to be vindicated, or for God to help us do things with a clear conscience so that our hands can be clean also, it's a bit hard, right? And I don't know, maybe I'm mumbling a little bit, but I hope you guys will understand. And this is like a story that also intrigued me, from the whole Bible. And to get into it also, I've been reading the Bible chapter by chapter by chapter, and I'm restarting from Genesis. I haven't read the whole Old Testament like that, but I'm starting from the Old Testament, going all the way to the last chapter. I'm gonna do my best, and I've done it with the New Testament also, but then I skipped the the book of Revelation, so that I can also understand context from Genesis, you know. So, and then I would also advise that you maybe try to do this, because this will give you like a clear lead on stories and how it went, what happened. You pay more attention to the details also, especially when you're praying and reading with the Holy Spirit to guide you. Definitely. And then you write down some things, do some research on what you don't understand. You may learn new words to use also. Like, I never knew the word vindicated until I saw it in the Bible one time in the New Testament. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what it means. Sharp. So basically, to vindicate someone is to do right on their behalf, basically God taking revenge on your behalf, technically. And then God will vindicate you. God will deal with them. It's okay, you know. And yeah, so that is how I basically go off of reading my Bible. So, like I said, from the story, I learned that one, Abimelech listened to God's call in the dream, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. At the end of the story, God also instructed for Abimelech to go back to Abraham and then ask him to pray for his servants and him so that they can be healed again. Then Abraham prayed to God. Yeah. And God healed Abimelech. Because of Abraham, Abimelech's household was healed. And how many of us? And then secondly, Abimelech was patient. He listened to Abraham and did exactly what he did, what he was supposed to, what he was asked of, and he did more. So yeah, some pointers to listen on. How do we get closer to God? How do we listen to him? How do we know his voice? Another thing on what I exercise to hear God's voice, I would say that every imagination and stronghold that puts itself up against the knowledge of God, may God pull down those strongholds in my mind and then send them away back to the abyss, wherever they came from, so that I can hear God's voice clearly. And everything from God comes with a sense of peace, maybe sometimes the stress, like how Jesus was exhausted before going to the cross, it was an assignment from God, but he still had exhaustion, stress, you know. But yeah, so not everything that comes from God will always come with like a peaceful feeling, but you always have to do it. You always have to say the prayers and ask for God to make your path clear so that you can see exactly where to go, how to do it. And when you do things with a clear conscience, just like Abimelech, you will be kept from sinning, or at least not repeating the act for the second time again, right? Or even going further in the act. So yeah. Okay, anyways, I'm about to go. I want to finish my tea, get ready for exams, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little fit check video. Maybe not, but yeah, all the best, guys. Love you. Bye. Also, stay tuned because I'll be posting an exciting video of a few contents that I attended. Well, not a few, but just like one in between 2 days. So yeah. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And all the best. Bye.